YouTube? Shinobi here with a review of the Power Rangers Super Megaforce Zeo Racer Zord and Red Ranger. So, this is our first and I think only Zord that is not in the show. We made this strictly to fill toy slots. And it is a remold of the Delta Runner Zord that we took a look at yesterday, but done up in a style similar to the Red Battlezord. So that's a really cool kind of look at history sort of thing that they got going on here. Red Ranger figure, it's dull and stupid and not really painted. And as with the Blue Ranger from the Delta Runner, he can plop on here and surf the Zeo Racer, but who cares? Really, no one. So here is the Zeo Red Ranger Key right here. Obviously no real details in the chest because of how tiny it is. Japanese ones didn't have them either. Head sculpt is okay. Not the best head sculpt we have, but it is okay. And if we flip his arms up and flip it up, we have the Zeo logo right there with all the shapes in it, because shapes are fun. And let's go ahead and take a look at it in the Legendary Morpher. And of course, in the card scanner app.
It's morphin' time! Zeo Red.
Alright, so being a remold of the Delta Runner, you can kind of anticipate how everything's going to go with here. Now, instead of the gun wheels, we do still have one back here, because this piece is entirely not remolded whatsoever. But the middle piece and these two front pieces definitely are. We now have tank treads instead of wheels with little tiny guns on them. Obviously, the signature Battlezord fists with the gun chambers around that as well. And of course, right in the middle, we have the star elongated right there. So, pretty neat little remold. It's obvious that it was a remold. It's not like one of those, wow, that's a remold. It's really, really obvious. But it works, and I like to pretend that it is an homage to the Zeo Battle Racers SNES game, because I really liked that game when I was little. But regardless, they didn't have carts in that game. They were all motorcycles, I think. But anywho, it's interesting, I think. And to top it off, the extra mode that this guy has kind of lends itself as a default mode for it. Now, granted, it is the Zeo Racer Zord, so it is definitely supposed to be a car. But given the fact that this mold can initiate a second form, I like to keep the Zeo Racer Zord in that form, so that it is vastly different than the other one, the Delta Runner Zord. So transformation is exactly the same, and no one's mentioned it on my Delta Runner review yet, but there is this form that is in the instructions that just has these back pieces flipped around, and it's like, it's a new form. That's not a new form, that's just silly. But regardless, I lost where I was with this. There we go. Pop that there. Pop that there. And pop that there. As with the Delta Runner, it does include the two missiles, so you can pop one in there. And now we have the Zeo Battle Racer in its tank battle station mode, whatever. And like I said, I like to pretend that this is the default mode. I do like the way that it ends up looking, with basically guns blazing everywhere. And I like that, because that's essentially what the Zeo Battlezord did. It punched and shot. That's all it really did. So that is my default version for the Zeo Racer Zord. Change it to the Zeo Battlezord, since that's technically what it is. Or Zeo Tank Zord. Whatever. Whatever works. But as with the Delta Runner, you can key it up, and boom. There we go. So, very simple, but like I said, I do like the way that everything works here. Alright, so as with the Delta Runner, there are several ways to do this combination, and since it's not in the show, you can pretty much go ball to the wall crazy. You only have one. And just do whatever you want with this, and I think that's kind of the charm of having some that are not in the show. So, once again, these are not cut out. They're solid holes yet again. So just kind of keep weaseling it in until something fits. Alright, so I don't actually have the instructions handy, but I believe the default combination as shown in the instructions was this, with those attached to the sides, and then these become guns, just like we did in the Delta Runner combination. So these become guns, and then you have the Zeo Legendary Megazord, just like that. Now, obviously, if you want to get as close to Gokaiger as possible, these are going to have to flip onto the front, like we had in the Delta Runner combination. But this is, for all intents and purposes, the official formation, I believe. So I like to do something a little bit different on these. Because we have Zord Builder ports everywhere, ideally, I like the concept of these on the shoulders. But given how the ports are laid out, there's no real way to get them any sort of lower. So what I like to do is kind of homage it to... Is that like an actual like phrasing, homage it? I don't know. Is flip those ports up at the top, open, and now we can take these and place them up on the Zord Builder ports up here in any way you like. I just like the turrets being on the side. And then these you can kind of place wherever you want. I'm okay with them on the sides here. Alternatively, you can just put them on the front. It doesn't particularly matter. But we'll put them on the front anyway. So you can plop those on the front and have them up on top. Why is this one all crooked and weird? Oh, because there's a peg there. There you go. Still kind of crooked and weird, but that's fine. And there we go with this formation that I particularly like to use for this, because it resembles greatly the Zeo Megazord with the Battlezord combination with the guns up on his shoulders. Now, it would be nice if you could peg them in right here, but given the fact that the Skyship's fins are in the way, you can't really do that. So this is as close as we're going to get to that, and I really like this look to it. It homages Zeo well, I think. These are just kind of here. But it pays tribute to Zeo. It looks nice. I mean, functionality in the show, this would never happen because the Gokai machines always are here and stuff. But given the fact that we're not restricted to show appearances or anything like that, I just really like the way that this ends up gelling together. Gelling. Yep. So, this is my official formation for all intents and purposes. So overall, I actually really like that, and while the dragon remains my favorite of the three, this is probably my second favorite, and I do like it over the Delta Runner just because I think it looks better. It has more visual appeal to it. And the formations are interesting, and like I said, because we're not limited to what we see in a show or have that sort of ball and chain, that we can kind of go crazy with it and do whatever we want. And I do like the formation that I ended up using, and that kind of became the official formation in my head. So I love the fact that we're getting things that aren't in the show that pay tribute to other seasons. Unfortunately, this is probably the only one. There was a listing for a Lion Zord, but I don't know what lion that could be. But given the fact that Toy Fair is happening right now, hopefully we get some information on that supposed Lion Zord. And see where we're pulling from. But I really wish they'd do more. I don't think they're going to, because I think we have pretty much all the listings for Super Megaforce until Dino Charge rolls around. So while it's unfortunate we're not getting more, I am glad that we got what we did. I just wish there was a little bit more extras. It would be nice, but regardless, it's a nice pickup for $14.95. It's not necessary for only collecting in-show appearances since it is not in the show. But for full-on collectors, it's a nice treat and a nice way to pay tribute to some other seasons that might not get their time to shine throughout the run of Super Megaforce. Thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.